want to go to Kavya Karampuri first. Given the huge amount of interest in the landing of the Chandrayaan 3, what is it that you are looking out for most carefully? What would make you most anxious at this moment in terms of what really needs to go right for India to be able to do a soft landing on the south side of the moon successfully?
Right. Chandrayaan 3, when you're talking about it, it just holds a very important place in the entire Indian space program. And the major objective of the Chandrayaan 3 is to demonstrate its capabilities to soft land on the lunar surface, and which we unfortunately missed out on Chandrayaan 2. And to go for the things to turn out right and for us to land on the moon, I think the major important part would be the descent, the powered descent from its current orbit of 25 cross around 100 kilometers to the landing. So this is the most important phase of the entire mission, I would say, because you'll have to control the lander in terms of its velocity, in terms of its attitude control and everything. So I think that would be the most important period between the current orbit to its landing.
Manish, Purohit, the Russians were hoping that with Lunar 25, they would be the first ones to get to the south side of the moon. Given that that didn't happen, the stakes have been upped even further. What does the crash over the weekend of the Lunar 25, in your view, mean for the team at Isro that's currently working on this project?
See, actually, that was a very unfortunate event, but Luna 25 crashed in that particular point, which we have already done on 18th and 20th of August. They were deboosting it. They were trying to bring the orbit down. They were trying to come down from 100 kilometer by 100 kilometer orbit to the 18 kilometer by 100 kilometer orbit. But ISRO's Chandrayaan 3 has already done that twice, one on 18th and next on 20th. So we are way ahead of that phase. Right now, we are just focusing on the power descent part that will be on 23rd. So the pressure part is like, scientific community is kind of immune to the pressures that can come out from outside world. They might get some pressure when the systems and subsystems are not responding. So I can visualize that part when we got that news that Roscosmos has lost the contact with Luna 25. Now, that's the pressure that builds up on the scientific community. And, regarding the expectations of the country or the nation or the world, but then scientific things, scientific endeavors, they carry both the aspects together. It's not always, we can't say it's a failure. We get to know so many things. If you take the case of Chandrayaan 2, we learned so many things we learned that this time our confidence is so high that our chairman, Somnath sir, is saying that what may ever happen, we are going to land on moon. So these failures, these mishaps, these things, they are the gateway to something new to learn, and we learn so many things about our algorithm, about our sensors, about our they're called reaction wheels, which turn the orientation of the spacecraft, and we learn so many things about our engine thrusters. See, because coming of the age, ISRO is planning to open up to the global community. We have our own new space policy that says that we have to penetrate at the global level in the global space economy. Right now we are at 2%. We want it to be 9% by 2030. So with these all technological improvements, with these all demonstrations of our capabilities, then only we can dream to achieve such big goal, because right now space economy stands at 400 plus billion USD, and 50 to 60% of that will be in the service segment, which is forte of India.
Altamas Ali, there was no immediate and direct comparison between the Luna mission and the Indian Space Research Organization's Chandrayaan probe, but comparisons are inevitable, and whether the scientists accept or not, just in the way people view, there is an element of competition, because the Russians could have been, had they landed on the 22nd of August, the first country to reach the south side of the moon. Now that could be India. Why do you think nobody else has reached there? Why did the Israeli, the Japanese missions before this fail? And why is the part of the moon where India is hoping to land so interesting and yet so complex?
Yes, see, this is very unfortunate event. In scientific community, we are not in that kind of competition, like we are doing this and that. But apart from that, keeping that aside, we are hoping for the soft landing of our Chandrayaan 3, because we have learned so many things from our previous experiences. This is one of the strengths that we are going to get this time. Like we are that much confident, as my preceding speaker has also quoted that the chairman has said, the ISRO's chairman has said that no matter what, we are going to land, because this time, removing all the barriers that we have faced the last time, we have the backup plans in terms of softwares and in terms of the advancement in the engines of the lander, and so many things. The lag testings is one of the part. We have tested them thoroughly with all the possibilities, and with all the information that we have got from the Chandrayaan 2 orbiter is one of the plus point that we are looking forward to, and that is helping us and will help us to land. And yet we are very close to this to the soft landing, and like I'm hoping, and we are pretty much sure that this time we will land. We will be experiencing the
What
soft landing.
Chaitanya Giri, what gives scientists this extra level of confidence, given what happened in Chandrayaan 2, and of course we've tried to learn from those failures? How is it that from the current ISRO chief, the past ISRO chief, all our guests on this show, all of them are seeking to exude the kind of confidence they are? Where does this confidence come from?
See, this confidence comes from a lot of resilience that is inbuilt into a scientist's mind, the go-getter attitude which is built into them. And you have examples set in the past. You know, there are countries, there are space agencies that have landed on Mars, they have landed on Venus, which is a not so hospitable planet. We've landed on a comet. I've been part of a mission where we landed on a comet, and a comet is much smaller. We've picked up samples from the asteroids. We brought those samples back. So this is humanly possible. The issue that arises occasionally is the glitch in the last moments, in the last minutes of terror, as we call it. So those glitches are something that is part and parcel of life, and we are all prepared for it. But as was said by the earlier speaker, just landing is not enough. You have to survive on the really inhospitable climate on the moon. There's no atmosphere. The temperature variations are tremendous. The daytime temperature, the nighttime temperature. If your lander or if your rover goes into the darker terrains where there is no sunlight, you run the chance of not recharging the batteries, the solar batteries that are on your rover. So the challenges don't end with the landing. And this is what I hope that ISRO will get to experience, the post-landing challenges, because that is where the next set of challenges lie. I'm afraid I'm repeating the words. The next set of challenges that we have to explore the moon, we have to explore resources that are available on the moon. These are the stepping stones for human spaceflight to the moon, and I'm sure in the next decade or so, we will begin the efforts that are to take Indian astronauts to the moon. And this is not the end of it. Landing is not the end of it.